Hey there, it's the ABCs of Preschool podcast, the place to be for busy moms, teachers, and childcare providers. I'm your host, Miss Amber, an early childhood expert with nearly 3 decades of experience and a proud mama too. I know you're running around with those little ones, so let's jump right in. Hello, friends. This is Miss Amber with the ABCs of Preschool podcast. Thanks so much for joining me again this week. Hope you had a fabulous week last week. If not, I hope it's getting better today. Today, we're going to be talking about the art of delegating. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are a parent, if you own preschools, childcare centers, sometimes if you're just a human living this journey of life, the art of delegating is very difficult, especially with those of us that are type A personalities, that we have a vision in our head and we want it to be executed just the right way. And sometimes we might think, if I'm the only one that can get it done in the way I want to. But the question is that really serving you well? Is it serving you well in your business? Is it serving you well in your home life, in your family life? If you have a preschool, a childcare center, if you're not delegating, things may be a little bit stressful, chaotic, and maybe feeling like everything's out of control. Whether you own a preschool or not, if you're an entrepreneur, if you own your own business and you are working in the business, not on the business, and you struggle with delegating, this episode is for you. When I started my preschool in 2001, I did everything myself, of course, because when you're starting a new business, as entrepreneurs, you are the leader of your business. You are the dreamer of your business. You have your goals, your ideas. You can see the bigger picture, right? If you are a mama or a parent in your family, you see the bigger picture of what your family will look like in 5 years or 6 years, like where you want your family to head. Same thing as entrepreneurs. Like we see the bigger picture. We see everything that's going on behind the scenes. So when you're first starting a business, of course, you're going to be in it. As entrepreneurs, it's blood, sweat, and tears, right? Like the amount of hours we put in, the amount of sleepless nights we have because we're worried and stressed, like that is just the name of the game. That's how it is. As it could be like that for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. But I think after that, delegating is a very powerful tool. If you're an entrepreneur, if you own your own preschool, if you're a home daycare provider, there's something beautiful about delegating. Even if maybe you're a mom, a parent, and you stay at home right now, but you are so overwhelmed because you're trying to manage everything. We cannot do everything. It's just impossible. We are not superheroes. As much as we may feel like we are wearing a cape on most days and we may feel like we are a superhero, we are not. We are human and we can only do so much. And here's what happens when we do not delegate and when we try to take everything on ourselves. Our stress level, for one, goes through the roof. We become mediocre at everything and not really good at one thing because we're so spread thin as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a preschool owner, as a mama, as a parent. We're so spread thin that we aren't doing anything really, really well, right? Especially as entrepreneurs, it's really hard to learn to delegate because people are going to fail you. You have to realize that your team member who you're bringing on to help you with your role does not see what you see in your head as the creator of your business, as the entrepreneur. If you are a parent and you're bringing a babysitter in or a nanny, or you're bringing someone in to help you, whatever it is, the first thing we have to realize is that us, are the dreamers. We see the bigger picture. So not everybody is going to do it the way we do it, but that's okay, because we can't go to a computer and print another version of ourselves out. Maybe one day, but we cannot do that. So nobody is going to love your business as much as you love your business, because nobody will have everything on the line like you have on the line. Nobody is going to ever love your child the way you love your child. So the first thing we have to realize is, yes, we are the best. We are the best at loving our business, loving our children, running our business. But we have to step back, because the more thin we are running a business, running your school, you start to become not great at everything. And sometimes so many things slip through the crack. When I was running my business for years, I was such a perfectionism. I took on everything so personally. If I got a negative email, if I got a negative phone call, it would eat me up. I would have panic attacks. I would stress out. Like, I wanted everything done at this high level. But the more I was doing payroll, I was doing the hiring, I was teaching, prepping, managing my own kids. I was trying to be mom all at the same time, cleaning my house, doing the laundry, fixing dinners, and then do it all again the next day. And then thinking about the business as an entrepreneur, you think about your business like 24/7. It's just really hard to shut it off. Took me years to finally start looking at what I'm good at, what are my strengths, and what are my weaknesses. The second thing I would say, the first thing is you have to acknowledge that you are the visionary, you are the creator, and nobody is going to do your job the best way that you will do it. However, the second thing we need to realize is, what areas are you struggling with? What are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? For example, my strength in my business is I am the creative person. I am the dreamer. I am the visionary. I see where our business is heading, where I want it to be. I set the goals, the tone. Like, this is what I see out of my business. And I've learned over the years, I am the creative person. I love to create it. Like, there's a fire that burns within me when I create. I'm horrible at the little nitty details of the answering the emails, the Excel sheets. I still don't even really know how to do an Excel sheet really great. Like, I'm really not, my brain is not really good at the little minute details that in my business, running preschools, have to be done. Files and folders and their state requirements, all of that stuff has to be done, and it has to be done well. So I am thankful that 6 months into opening up my school, I did bring on teachers and I started to bring in help. But I think the ultimate was, it's going on almost 5 years. 5 years ago, I decided to take a 1-year sabbatical. And I had already for years, I already had directors in place. I was stepping back a little bit in my company. I was the bigger picture, the goal, like the creator, but I was having other people help run the schools. And that is the moment I put in amazing team leads into my program to help run the tours, to help catch my vision and then implement it every day, is when my businesses, my schools really started to take off and flourish like I never imagined. And then I just became really, really good at delegating. Like, I'm really, really good because I see like the whole picture, and I see where, okay, we need a person here, 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 and here. And we're all going to work together to create this really beautiful thing. So I think I've gotten really, really good at it. And 5 years ago, I took a 1-year sabbatical, and I'm really proud to say I was in the business, working in the business for about 7 months last year because I opened up a new school. When you open up a new school, a new business, you gotta dial it in the way you gotta get in there. You gotta train the way you want. So that's what I did. But I've also learned a lot from that. I learned that I have amazing team members now that can step into that role for me. But it's almost been 5 years that I've delegated. I can officially say now 100% of my business to other people. I was holding on to a couple other things, but the last 5 months, everything is being run on autopilot by my extraordinary team. I have delegated everything. So if something were to happen to me tomorrow, I feel so confident that Loving Start Learning Centers are going to run and they're going to be successful. It has been the best thing I could have ever done for me as a person. It's stressful as an entrepreneur. You have a lot of pressure as an entrepreneur. You have a lot of pressure, liability when you work. If you are a preschool owner, a childcare owner, the liability you carry when we're working with little tiny humans. It has been the best health-wise. I've really been on a health journey because for years I didn't delegate. So I carried a lot of stress that I believe has caused a lot of damage. So now I've delegated. It is amazing. I can be on a health journey. I can think bigger for our company. I can spend time doing the creative things that bring me joy. And my schools are doing phenomenal. My team, shout out to my team if you're listening. They're extraordinary. They're amazing. But I had to trust them. They're not going to do it exactly how I'm going to do it, but I had to trust them to do the job that I hired them to do and let them do it. And as the boss, as the entrepreneur, as the mama who loves their kids, it's hard to put trust in other people. But in order for us to not feel overwhelmed all the time, to be not stressed all the time, to get off that hamster wheel, that horrible hamster wheel that you wake up every morning stressed out and not sure how you can go on another day because you feel like you can't handle your life. In order to stop getting off of that, you have to start passing off things to other people. Maybe as a mom, you're so overwhelmed right now with all the laundry, all the dishes, and maybe you're holding down a job. Maybe it's one day a week, you go and take a walk for 3 hours and you have a babysitter. That's okay. Whatever it is, maybe you have someone that comes and helps you. When my kids were a little bit younger and I was teaching part-time, I would have a nanny. She would be there Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings. I would go teach because I love teaching. She'd watch my daughter. She'd help prep meals for me in the morning. So I'd come off of work at 12:30. So I would just work morning shift. She would have meal ready to go in the crock pot for me because that was something I was struggling with. I wanted home cooked meals, but I also needed to teach. So it's okay. And then find your weaknesses. I'm the first one to say, I don't like the minutia of the everyday, the paperwork and all of that. I don't like it and I'm not good at it. So I bring someone else that will help me. Like a CPA, a bookkeeper. I've had a bookkeeper, a CPA for 20 years now because I'm not good at it. So recognize what your weaknesses are and bring someone in that can carry those weaknesses and they're amazing at it. And so your business is going to thrive. My businesses have thrived so much better with me being just the leader and doing what I do best and having everybody else what they do best. It's incredible. And everybody's doing such an amazing job. And I trust them. I let them do their amazing job. I don't micromanage. There's sometimes where I have to say things and we have to tweak things a little bit, but I don't believe in micromanaging. I believe if you put someone in a role to do that role, let them shine and let them take ownership of the business and let them soar with it. It's so amazing. And my stress level now, I don't have panic attacks. I'm the healthiest I've been since I don't even remember. My businesses are thriving. I work on it, not in it. And it's amazing. So there is something so beautiful about delegating. And I just encourage even today, like sit down and think about what you're struggling with. Think about what your weaknesses are. What are your strengths as a person? What is your strengths in your different roles? What do you need help with? And how can you get that help? And how can you become a better leader if you got that help? I think delegating in business is so critical because, again, if you're taking on everything and you're trying to run every little part of your business is not going to get to a space to the next level where it actually can be because you're holding it down. You're holding it back. I was holding my business back in many ways because I was trying to do everything. So in the act of trying to do everything, I wasn't really good at anything. So once I stepped back and did the things, let myself shine in the areas I was really good with and brought other people to shine in the areas that I was lacking in, that's when things changed. That's when my programs began to soar to another level that I never even imagined. And it's possible in preschools. It's possible in childcare centers. It's possible in home daycare centers. Believe me, I ran in my home for 9 years and I had a team even in my home. So it is a beautiful thing. I think delegating things, we shouldn't feel guilty about it. It's getting us to the next level. It's making us become better human beings, better parents, better business leaders, better entrepreneurs. It's okay to pass off things. It's okay to delegate. And honestly, if you can learn the art of delegating in your business, I truly believe you're going to become a better entrepreneur and your business is going to reach new heights and thrive like you never saw it thrive before. But that's trusting other people. And that's actually building the right team. You have to have the right people with your vision, with your philosophies on life, and with the skill set that you need for your business to thrive. And yes, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an owner, you're not going to make as much money when you begin to delegate everything, right? Like I could be making this amount if I didn't have a team to run the entire schools. I could be making a lot more money. But in life, I don't believe everything is about money. Yes, we want money to survive and we want money to pay our bills, but at what cost? To me, it's important to delegate so I can be healthy, I can be strong, I can carry my stress well and let it go. And I can have my schools thriving to a level I could never have imagined because I have the right team in place. That is worth way more than money to me. So I'm so glad that I've learned the art of delegating. And I encourage you guys to just take a look this week of what you're struggling with, what you need help with. How much will that cost if you bring in someone else? But if you bring in someone else to free up some of your time, then can you get to the next level? Like maybe your school right now is struggling on enrollment because you're doing everything. You're teaching, you're running tours, you're changing the diapers, you're doing the payroll, so you don't have time to do the marketing. So it's all just kind of like a balance. And the best part is getting off that hamster wheel every day of stress. It's not good for us. Stress and feeling overwhelmed every day is not good for any of us. So I hope that you guys can learn a little bit of the art of delegating and how beautiful it can be and how amazing it could take your business. It could take an ordinary business to like a well-thriving, well-oiled machine that's extraordinary. Have a fabulous week. Remember to wish it, dream it, do it. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hear this podcast. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the next episode. For more information on how to work with me, Miss Amber, visit me at thelovingstartway.com or follow me on Insta at thelovingstartway.